Online Tonight is live and on the air at 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546.
Online Tonight.
Sir, drop the chalupa. Put it down and back away.
Sir, don't be silly. Drop the chalupa.
I said, drop the chalupa.
Put it down, man.
Yeah, drop the chalupa.
And now, from the craziest city on the planet, this is Online Tonight, on the air toll-free at 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546. And now, the host of Online Tonight, Max.
Hey, that's me. All righty, welcome to Online Tonight on this sweltering Sunday. I'm Max Smart, by the way. This is episode number 2116 of Online Tonight, where we talk about the latest in tech, pop culture, and more. More for me can be pretty much anything except for politics. A lot of great people out there. I try not to dabble in it too much. Sometimes we have to talk about it when it comes to technology and some of the policies, but 90% of the time, we talk about you and technology, pop culture, theme parks, food, pets, video games, movies. That's in the more section. Coming up this hour, of course, we have our Geek Speak, our Bookmark This, all the details on Apple's new lease plan. And unfortunately, it looks really good. And I am trying to figure out how I can afford to buy something big. But those plans don't always work out. But I'm happy to talk to you about what your plans might be. Elon Musk, by the way, is adding another business. So we're going to talk about all of that. And, of course, we have the Super Mario, what is the name of this thing? The Super Mario Galaxy movie, I think is what it's called. That's going to be our movie review. But more importantly, why is Online Tonight here? To make your life easier when it comes to your everyday tech questions, problems, frustrations. I want technology to be fun, entertaining, and educational and not have you pulling hair out. I've already done enough of that already, so let me help you. And the best way to do that is call in the show. Use our Broadcast Bionics Caller One system using our toll-free telephone number 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546. That is our toll-free telephone number. It's the best method. You can be my eyes and ears. I always have follow-up questions, and then we can work these things out together. Or at the end of it all, maybe we just write each other a permission slip so we can get something new. But what might that be? We can discuss that as well. Maybe you're not listening to the show live. Maybe you're listening to tape delay on one of the stations, or you're listening to the podcast, the audio archive. Maybe you're watching a YouTube repeat or a Twitch repeat. You can still join us. We take your emails and your text voicemail messages. The text voicemail number is 951-395-1017. Data rates may apply. Leaving a voicemail is your authorization to broadcast your likeness. Got to get through that. And the email address is very simple. show@onlinetonight.com. SHOW@onlinetonight.com. Victoria is producing the show. She's answering your questions. She's answering your calls for your questions and checking the messages on all the platforms. Before we jump into Apple News, this portion of the show is brought to you by Paramount Plus. The streamer has become a serious contender in the ring with UFC and Zuffa Boxing on the basic streaming plan. If you're on the premium plan, you're going to get other sports like the WNBA, the PGA, the LPGA, and Major League Pickleball. Pickleball! I found a guy who is now making replaceable front panels for your pickleball, so you don't have to buy a whole new paddle. Find out all that Paramount Plus has to offer by visiting our website, onlinetonight.com/stream. And, of course, the show is also brought to you by my new line of pirate-themed shirts and merchandise. Visit onlinetonight.com/store for all those details. onlinetonight.com/store. All right. Apple, as you may know, Apple has had this Finance Your Phone plan for some time. And I think they were maybe self-funding it. I'm not sure. But Apple has gotten rid of that now. That's gone. Apple has now launched the Apple Upgrade program through Klarna leasing program. It's a company. They usually do like business leases, but this is now going to be for individuals and things like that. There are some exceptions. We'll get into that in a minute. But what can you get? Well, obviously the iPhone. That was clear as day. So you can now use the Apple Upgrade program to get your iPhone, your Apple Watch, a Mac, and the iPads here in the U.S. Now, this replaces the old iPhone Upgrade program. So there are no new customers on that as of now. Existing ones will finish their Citizens One agreement. I guess it was a third party. Unlike previous financing programs, the Apple Upgrade is a lease. It's not a loan. So it's like leasing a car. So that's what's different. You can sign up for a 2-year, 24 months, or a 3-year, 36-month program. And at the end of it, you can pay it off like you would a car lease, or you can trade it in for something new. Oh, by the way, on the iPhone and the iWatch, they only have 2 options, which is a 12-month lease or a 24-month lease. At the end of the lease, as I mentioned, you get to either upgrade to a new device, pay for the buyout and keep it, or you can just send it back. And, it was a rental, basically. Eligible devices. I think this is important. iPhone 17 lineup and newer, the Apple Watch Series 11 and Ultra 3 models, the M5 MacBook Air and MacBook Pro, the M4 iPad Air, and the iPod Mini. Here are the things that you don't get. Oh, by the way, you can get the Mac Studio and select Mac Minis. Select. Not the entry points on these things. You have to add more RAM, more storage, logic. You gotta step it up. Otherwise, the finance option will not be presented to you. It also then means that if you're a student or a teacher, no financing available through this program because you're already getting a special deal. So you're not going to be able to finance that through lease, even if you end up getting like a Mac Studio fully loaded through the student program. I don't believe the lease option will be available to you under the educational program. So things you can't get: the iPhone 16, the Apple Watch SE, the MacBook Neo, because that's one of their low ends, the iPad A16 version, the Studio Display, or the Vision Pro. You're not going to be able to finance those. And I guess I will, during the break, I promise, I will check for you on the Mac Mini because I just got a text and it says all Mac Minis are excluded. And I'm pretty sure that I put in a Mac Mini M3 Ultra with 96 gigs of RAM and I was presented with the Klarna offer. So I will check that for you. You can still trade stuff in. So there's a trade-in that will help you reduce that monthly payment. There's no security deposit. There's another little side wrinkle, and that is no Apple Care is included. If you want Apple Care, you have to buy it and you have to pay for it up front. So who can get it? Any resident of the U.S., 18 or over, with a valid SSN number or a ITIN, an Apple account in good standing, meaning you can't have been banned from iCloud or malware on your developer account. That's not going to work. You have to sign up for a Klarna account, and you must accept a credit or a debit card from them, I guess, or Apple. I'm not sure whose card you're going to end up getting, but apparently there is some kind of credit extended to you, and you must take it. iPhone leases require a postpaid AT&T, T-Mobile, or Verizon plan. There's a soft credit check, so you're not going to get, it's not going to show up on your reports. And there is a kind of a delayed / grace, but if you miss a certain number of payments, then your lease is terminated and somebody's going to come and repo your stuff. So there you are. Tim Cook just did his last, what is this thing called? Financial call while he's CEO. By the next time there's a financial call, he will have transitioned this over. And so that was very interesting to see what happened. They made a lot of money, and their margin increased, which makes me wonder, did they really have to charge for the memory crisis? Their margins were still really good. The amount of money that Apple pays on long-term purchasing contracts for RAM is not that much, less than 1/3 of the build price. So I was happy and sad at the same time. I was happy that Apple continues to make money because then they'll invest in more R&D. But I was kind of mad that they decided to change the RAM prices when I don't think they really needed to. Stay tuned.
If you're an author interested in turning your works into audiobooks, Narrate Your Own Book is for you. Since 2005, David H. Lawrence XVII has taught 3,000 students the ins and outs of voiceover work, including narration of audiobooks. As an author, your curriculum includes more than the performance and recording aspects of narration. You also learn how to prepare your manuscript to become an audiobook and market it once it's finished. Visit narrateyourownbook.com for more information and a sample class. narrateyourownbook.com.
Online tonight.
Geek Speak.
All right, this Geek Speak, where we take a tech term and turn it into plain English right before your very ears, is Access Point. Access Point. More on that in just a moment. This portion of the show is brought to you by Anchor. I'm so excited about the Nano wireless car charger. It means that your phone is held securely within view while using the Qi 2 certified 15-watt wireless charging pad. Plus, the charging pad, the wireless charging pad, is detachable, and you can take it with you into like the hotel or the office or whatever you're doing. Camping if you've got those solar batteries. But when it's attached to the charging head, it rotates 360 degrees. It tilts 45 degrees to help you find the most comfortable viewing angle. You can find out about all of Anchor's great products by visiting our website, onlinetonight.com/anchor, onlinetonight.com/ANKER. Now, Access Point. An access point is a device like a wireless router that allows wireless devices to connect to a network. Most access points have built-in routers, while some must be connected to a router in order to get out on the internet. But you can just use it for your office. If you want to create an island that has no internet access, you can still use access points to connect those devices and printers and things like that. Private network, sure, why not? In either case, an access point is typically hardwired to some devices and wireless to others. It might be connected to that router that we talked about, or maybe just some Ethernet switches, or possibly directly connected to, some other source of data traffic. Access points can be found in a lot of places: houses, businesses, sometimes in public parks or at your local coffee house. In most places, most houses at least, the access point is a wireless router, which is connected to fiber, DSL, cable. You might even have a 5G version. Some modems may include wireless capabilities, making the modem itself like an access point. In fact, your phone can act as an access point to other devices. Large businesses often provide several access points across the campus for their employees, and they may even carve off a little bit of that bandwidth for public access. You're used to public access if you've used them in coffee shops or restaurants, libraries, even Home Depot. I just was at a Home Depot, and I'm like, why do I have Wi-Fi? That's because I was connected to their access point. Most access points will provide internet access to connect users, so you can check your mail, send text messages, and things like that. But as I mentioned earlier, there are things like closed networks where it is just private, so you can get to your printers or you can get to your smart devices and not have them going out to the internet. That is this hour's Geek Speak Access Point. Access Point.
Online tonight.
All right, phone lines are open. Give us a call using our Broadcast Bionics Caller One system. using our toll-free telephone number 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546. Also, don't forget you can follow me on X and Instagram. I use the same account name over there, Max Smart Radio on both platforms. Miss Victoria.
Yes. We have a text from somebody calling themselves Roomba Lover in Charlotte, North Carolina. I heard the government is banning foreign robots. Is my Roomba in danger? The little guy's like a part of the family.
We have Roombas, but we have a dog as well. And we have other people that stay at our residence. So I don't really think of them as family members. They have a function. But I understand. If I had a Sony Aibo, I probably would treat it like family. The short answer for you is Roomba Lover in Charlotte, North Carolina, is the government is not going to come and take your Roomba from you in the house. There's no confiscation plan. They're not coming to steal your beloved family robot. But the FCC has banned the import of new foreign-made advanced robotic devices that have not already been authorized for sale in the U.S. So I believe because I think iRobot went out of business. So I don't even know if you can go into Target
They got bought.
Oh, they did. So the line continues.
I think by a Chinese company.
Oh, cheapers. Well, if they're still manufacturing the original items and with no changes, those should still be available in the U.S. The ban is part of a national security initiative because foreign-produced robots might have surveillance chips in it. They may have backdoor networking or something to send the map of your house or how much water you're using or, who knows? I don't know. I'm not in the espionage business, so I don't know how I would do these things. But so the definition of advanced robotic devices is not just like humanoid robots. I mean, so it's the Roomba is considered a robot. It is a consumer robot. So these things you are now going to be looked at more carefully. So robot vacuums, those lawnmower things. Oh, I like those lawnmower things. Those are pretty cool. Delivery robots, like you see running around the metros with the little, it looks like a giant cooler and has 4 little wheels and it rips down your fence and it beeps at you and sometimes, stops randomly in a crosswalk to mess with the fire truck. Maybe that's what's happening. Maybe the Chinese are taking over the delivery robots to make traffic problems or emergency services not work. I don't know. But I could see why these could be concerns. Existing products already authorized, imported, and on sale are not going to be affected. New models manufactured outside the U.S. generally require that FCC waiver to be imported and sold, but the FCC is now clamping down. The covered devices generally include a robot that weighs more than 4.5 pounds, that can move by itself around the ground, so not remote control, not like RC cars, that has an onboard or remote software, AI or machine learning. So even your Roomba had a form of AI learning. Well, some models did. The early models didn't, but the more advanced ones definitely did, where they kind of make a map of your room so that they can figure out that, I got to get the middle because our Roomba, for whatever reason, is a wall hugger. Our Roomba is always on the wall. And I look and I say, you didn't get any of those little bits of chips. It's usually tortilla chips in the middle of the floor. We have a regular vacuum, and I vacuum those up after I crunch them a few times into the carpet, and my loving wife yells at me. Anything that also includes an environmental sensor is they're concerned about it. So some of the major manufacturers, iRobot, Roborock, Dream, and others that had waivers will now need to see if they can get new waivers. So there you are. If you're not listening live and you want to submit a question like Roomba Lover did, there's a couple ways to do that. You can, of course, call. Oh, not listening live. So Roomba wasn't listening live. You might not be listening live. The toll-free telephone number may not apply to you in that case. But here's the text and voicemail number, 951-395-5545. 1017. And the email address is show@onlinetonight.com, SHOW@onlinetonight.com. And don't forget that you can always go to the website, onlinetonight.com, look for episode number 2116, where we have the show notes for each and every hour. We have the Geek Speak, the Bookmark This, and you can subscribe right there to the podcast or listen to the archive. Stay tuned.
We're taking your calls right now at 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546.
Online tonight.
I like the way this man thinks.
This is Online Tonight. My name is Max. Use our Broadcast Bionics Caller 1 system using our toll-free telephone number, which is 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546. You can also reach us via text and email. And the text also has voicemail attached to it, so you can leave a text or a voicemail, your choice. The email address, show@onlinetonight.com, and the text voicemail number is 951-395-1017. All right, this portion of the show is brought to you by the Power Lunch at Benihana. So before we jump into our movie review, we go to Benihana quite often, actually. We go for birthdays and we go for anniversaries and things like that. But, you know, sometimes it's nice to go and have the food and maybe save at the same time. So we recently discovered, Miss Victoria and I, the Power Lunch, where you are guaranteed to be in and out of there in 45 minutes. The menu is limited, you know, so that they can, and the show is smaller. You do get your choice of chicken, shrimp, or tofu for $15.95, or you can upgrade that to the filet or the New York steak for $19.95. And you get your choice of soup or salad, so not both like the normal dinners. You get hibachi rice and the vegetables. It's a good deal and a great way to make any day a little more special. It's available Monday through Thursday from 11 to 5 p.m., 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Fridays from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Check out your local Benihana to find out all the details, or you can visit Benihana.com.
From Hollywood.
One very important thing, mate. I'm Captain Jack Sparrow.
Blockbusters, tearjerkers, family fare.
Everything is awesome.
What's worth seeing in the theater, and what should you just watch at home?
Are you a good witch or a bad witch?
Here are your hosts.
I'm Max.
And I'm Victoria.
And we're going to share with you our thoughts on this Super Mario Galaxy movie, rated PG, now streaming on Peacock. And this is a sequel to the previous overly successful The Super Mario movie. And it has some of the same voice talent. Miss Victoria will start us in that area.
All right. Yeah, we've got a lot of the same players. Of course, you've got Chris Pratt as Mario and Charlie Day as Luigi.
Luigi!
And then Princess Peach is also back, and that's Anya Taylor-Joy. And Jack Black returns as Bowser.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get a bunch of new people, including Brie Larson as Rosalina.
Another princess.
Yep. Benny Safdie as Bowser Jr.
I have questions.
Uh-huh.
Go on.
Oh.
Anybody else?
Donald Glover as Yoshi.
Oh, Yoshi, the little dragon boy. Or
Yep.
girl, or animal. It doesn't have to have a gender, I guess. All right, so the premise is Bowser Jr., when he was young, was told these fantastical nighttime stories by his dad, which would be Bowser Sr. And as you know, Bowser ended up, well, Bowser's not around right now because of what happened in the previous movie. We then find out what happened to him, where he is, and Bowser Jr. is looking for him. But Bowser Jr. took those fantastical stories as an action item, right? He thought that him and his dad were going to create their own planet that had its own stuff and a big giant boom boom cannon. What powers the boom boom cannon is a princess. So
That's kind of dark.
a princess is kidnapped and put into a energy extraction pod to power the thing. But if you remember the end of the previous Mario movie, Bowser had softened a little bit, but not around his kid, that's for sure. Go ahead, Miss Victoria. You give us a little more of your perspective.
Okay. So I think in the first Super Mario Brothers movie, I spent the whole thing kind of figuring out this whole Mario Brothers thing because I had never played any of the games. I didn't know any of the characters. I'm like, what are they doing? What is this?
But did you enjoy it anyway? Even though you didn't care, you didn't know about the pipes and the turtles and the
Right.
power-ups.
I went back and looked to see what we rated the first one, and I rated it a 4.
Mhm.
So I thought it was fun and entertaining, but for me, there was a bit of a learning curve. Okay, now 3 years have passed since then. I'd forgotten all about it, basically, because, again, I don't play the games. Now, for me, it's more like, oh, whose voice is that? Oh, whose voice is that? Oh, this person is back and this person is back. I'm not super attached to the characters, in other words, but there's a lot of action and adventure, and there's camaraderie, and there's concern for certain of the characters. I mean, it's a PG movie, so you know the peril is not going to be super perilous. But there are some concerns, kidnappings and,
Sure.
different violent things going on. But then there's also funny bits, like a monkey stealing stuff and
Right.
I think my favorite scene was in the casino. Because
Okay.
that room was just so amazing.
Anti-gravity room. That's what's nice about a casino in space. And for the Mario lovers out there, you're going to get a few Easter eggs or some nice little add-ons. Maybe not quite the same as the one we got last time in The Ring. If you haven't watched it, I don't want to wreck it for you. But, that one particular character, people were very excited. But if you're a Mario Kart fan, then you might see some of that with cars and motorcycles and other fun things like that. If you are a, what, oh, that was a different show. Okay. You're going to, Yoshi's there and some other types of dinosaurs and some other creatures and things like that.
There were some good laugh out loud moments.
There's some good laugh out. I don't know if the game has the lava roller coaster, but if that's like your thing, then you'll be happy. What were some of your laugh out loud? Go ahead. You brought it up.
I know. I mean, I remember laughing. I don't remember what I laughed at.
All right. So there were some good, funny moments there. We were concerned a little bit about some of the peril.
Yeah.
It is rated PG, not PG-13. So there were no real bad words. But, I mean, they're basically extracting all the energy from a princess.
Mhm.
And so there's a nice kind of story there about, that. I don't want to wreck it.
I find it interesting, the parallel, because you've got Bowser Jr., who was very invested in these stories that he heard as a child. And then we've got another group who hears bedtime stories
Oh, yeah.
and is very inspired by them.
Mhm.
And you kind of get to see that play out in some surprising ways. And so I think a lot of the characters are really cute. I forgot to mention that Keegan-Michael Key is back as Toad. And Toad, I think, is one of my favorite characters because he just doesn't hide his dismay about certain things.
Sure. There were some what I like to call crossovers or homages to other movies. I feel like there was a slight homage to Minions, maybe, because there was a gadget that was used. And then I feel like there might have been some homages to some 80s movies. And so if you don't know about the video game per se, if you're not a Mario fan, we're talking about the Super Mario Galaxy movie rated PG now streaming on Peacock. You can Look for those types of things, and maybe you'll find some extra joy. I don't think you have to worry about it. If you're a Mario fan, you're going to understand the little noise every time they come out of a pipe. You're gonna want to know about the power-ups and how Yoshi kind of floats around like a big balloon. You're going to get all these things. Maybe that was a spoiler. Anyway, you're going to get all that. But even if you don't, you can still, an adult that has no idea, you could probably still watch it and enjoy it and find some funny moments.
I don't think there was enough singing from Jack Black.
You asked. You
I
said,
do.
is Jack going to sing? And we got maybe 2 bars, if that, right?
Yeah, no new song from him. I'm a little disappointed in that.
All right, what do you rate it?
I'm going to give it a 4. I mean, it was entertaining, but again, I'm not really into the franchise.
What'd I give it last time?
You gave it a 5, but you said it was not for super young kids.
Yeah. Okay. So that was exactly my warning here. I'm not going to give this one a 5. I'm going to give this one a 4.5. But some of the peril and the fights and the pew-pews and the blowy-uppies, I think were a little, could be trigger the younger audience. So I might watch carefully on that. Stay tuned.
Online tonight.
Hey, bookmark this.
All right. Every hour, I like to give you a website that I hope you find fun, educational, or entertaining. And sometimes I look at these things and I say to myself, I don't know how I'm supposed to tell you what this is. Is this a word? Is it an acronym? And then I go to the site and I learn more as well as maybe you would. And this is an acronym. So I'm going to give you the website, which is mycoai.com. All one word. So mycoai.com. And funny enough, it doesn't have anything to do with artificial intelligence. In fact, it could scare you. So that's your warning. The first week of August is International Clown Week. This website, which was created, of course, by the Clowns of America International, hence the COAI acronym, is a gathering place for serious-minded amateurs, semi-professionals, and professional clowns. So if you're interested in clowning around, this might be the perfect place for you. If you're afraid of them, if you have clownophobia, or whatever the official word is, don't go there. Visitors interested in clown arts, that's what, you can even go to a class. I don't know if you know this. Will find a variety of resources to stimulate your interest, foster their creativity, and possibly offer pathways to valuable information and education. So there you are. That is this hour's bookmark. This mycoai.com, mycoai.com. This hour's bookmark. This brought to you by Swag to the Max. I've teamed up with them to introduce my new line of pirate T-shirts. You can find them by going to onlinetonight.com/store, onlinetonight.com/store.
Online tonight.
If redness, swelling, or irritation occurs, increase your listening time by 1 hour per day. This is Online Tonight. Now, here's Max.
That cure seems very easy. I probably would have tried a hot compress. Tech money, a little bit of tech money news. X, formerly Twitter, as you know, has launched something called X Money. It's an invite-only financial service for eligible users. What a lot of people may not know is that Elon Musk was a founding member of eBay. Or PayPal. No, PayPal. Elon Musk was a founding member of PayPal. I am surprised it's taken this long to work this out. Because if you remember, PayPal, not a bank. X Money, not a bank. It operates using banking infrastructure provided by a third party, which in this case is Cross River Bank. The service offers an X-branded Visa debit card that can be used at ATMs. Users can send money to other X users in real time. Invitations are currently limited to premium subscribers. So if you're an X premium subscriber, you can get in there. They've got some interesting benefits if you decide to accept the invitation. You get a 6% annual yield on deposits. That's pretty high, I think. 3% cash back on eligible purchases. If you want that 6%, you got to put in at least $1,000, $1,000. And again, you have to be the X Premium subscriber, which is an additional $8 a month. You need to have enough deposited funds to offset the subscription cost. Would be $1,600. So I guess they are going to automatically debit it out of your X Money account. I don't think you have to do that, though. Maybe that is a requirement. I don't know. I wasn't invited. So as you know, Elon Musk is trying to turn X into a everything kind of app where you're going to be able to shop and watch videos and buy things and banking, and he's calling it the everything app. And so this, I guess, is another way to get there. Here's something weird about eBay. I mentioned them in error a minute ago. This definitely was an error on eBay's part. eBay has agreed to pay nearly $50 million to a journalist, David and Ina Steiner, to settle a lawsuit over a 2019 cyberstalking campaign that was carried out by 7 or thereabouts former eBay employees. So they founded, they're journalists. So I'm going to guess this was kind of like a newsletter or an ecom or a magazine type site. It was called E-commerce Bites, and they were covering the entire e-commerce industry, and they rated eBay poorly. And apparently the executives over there at the eBay decided to go on this kind of harassment campaign against these two people, and it has cost them $50 million. $48.7 million will be in compensation. $7 million will go to charitable donations. No confidentiality agreement allowing the Steiners to speak publicly about the case. That's the settlement terms. Compensation breakdown: $46 million will come from eBay. $2 million will come from the former CEO, Devin. $500,000 will come from a former executive, Wendy, and $50,000 from another former executive, Steve. I'm not giving you their last names. One, I can't pronounce half of it. Charitable donations include $6 million from eBay to nonprofit organizations, $1 million from Devin to the First Amendment charity in Ina Steiner's name. The harassment campaign allegedly aimed to intimidate them for reporting negatively on eBay. The couple received threatening messages via anonymous deliveries, including cockroaches and spiders, a funeral wreath, have you ever gut a chicken and then you had to turn it over so that all that red stuff will come out? Okay. Imagine that, put it on a Halloween mask and send it to these people. A book about surviving the death of a spouse. So some of these are fairly graphic and nasty and mean. So I don't know why the eBay executives would do this in the first place. But
I know that. I mean, I was thinking when I first saw this that maybe it was like some lower manager or somebody who got a bee in their bonnet and it's like, we'll show them. But executives.
The former CEO.
Yeah, that's crazy. They were smoking crack. I think that's what the problem was.
They even received pornographic magazines to the neighbors using the couple's names. They were going to fly over to Massachusetts or wherever and put GPS trackers on their automobiles. It was a gigantic nightmare and a giant mess. I really don't understand why all of this happened. It seemed crazy. Apparently, all 7 of those people are now gone from the eBay, but it's not going to stop me from saying bad things. Stay tuned.
Online Tonight is produced and copyrighted by Smart Family Media. All rights reserved. Host Maxwell Smart. producer, and other hats worn by Victoria Smart. Views and opinions expressed are those of the host, guest, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, affiliates, or other advertisers.
Looking around for the phone number, it's 1-800-39-ONLINE. 1-800-396-6546.
Online tonight.
Somebody, please, tell me what that is. Please.
And now, from the craziest city on the planet, this is Online Tonight, on the air toll-free at 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546. And now, the host of Online Tonight, Max.
Hey, that's me. My name is Max. Welcome to Online Tonight on this summery Sunday. This is hour 2 of episode number 2116. My name is Max Smart, and we're talking tech, pop culture, and whatever other nonsense pops into my brain. Coming up this hour, of course, we've got our Geek Speak, our Bookmark This. We say goodbye, maybe, to game discs. But at what cost? Or what benefit? Atari is partnering up with some movie theaters, or movie studios, or distributors, or writers. We'll find out together. And did a Spidey leak wreck the box office? I have a prediction. We'll see what happens. But most importantly, Online Tonight is here to help you with your tech questions. Pretty much anything. There's no such thing as a dumb question, so feel free to reach out. And the best way to do that is using our Broadcast Bionics Caller One system, using our toll-free telephone number, 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-65. As I mentioned, I have 1,000 monitors. Well, that's an exaggeration. Back to the phone number. 1-800-396-6546 is the toll-free telephone number. 1-800-39-ONLINE. This is the best method because I always have follow-up questions. Sometimes I get distracted by something that you shared and I want more information. You can be my eyes and my ears and my hands. And that way we can solve this problem together. Or just get a permission slip to get something new and we can talk about what that might be. We also take your call you know who's going to take your calls and your emails? Miss Victoria. She's one of the best producers and she goes through all your messages and your texts and your voicemails and your calls and your chats. So if you're using the visual services. So let's keep her busy today, this hour. So she doesn't just sit back there and eat dark chocolate-covered almonds, which I hear are very good for you. Almonds are good for you, and dark chocolate is apparently good for you. So if you hear crunching, that's what it is. But the email address, show@onlinetonight.com, and the voicemail text number is 951-395-1017. Data rates may apply. Leaving a voicemail is your authorization. Before we jump into video game news, this portion is brought to you by Anker. Their new Prime 3-in-1 wireless charging station features Qi 2.2 support, allowing a MagSafe iPhone to charge at up to 25 watts. That's the same speed as the MagSafe charger. And it's 10 watts faster than the standard Qi 2 charger. You can also charge at the very same time an Apple Watch and your AirPods. So that's pretty cool. Check out all the Anker products by visiting our website, onlinetonight.com/Anker. And of course, the show is brought to you by my new line of pirate-themed shirts and merchandise. Visit onlinetonight.com/store. Sony PlayStation announced it will end production of physical game discs in January of 2028. So we still have about 13 months. What month is this? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 14 months-ish to grab our discs. I am a physical media nut. I have tons of them. DVDs, Blu-rays, game discs, CDs. I still have a gazillion billion CDs. I said DVDs and Blu-rays already. I like the discs. Now, it is a pain in the butt to have to load a disc all the time. So there are ways, not to do that. That's to get the digital version, and then it's in a menu and you click on it and it loads. So that's a lot easier than having to put a disc in. But I don't know. I like physical media because sometimes the internet goes out and you want to play your game. And if you have the disc and it's not 100% pure online only game, then you've got something that you can do. If you've got one of those battery backups or maybe some ding dong in a truck crashed into the fiber pole outside, and everything else is working except for the internet. And you're not going to turn a hotspot on and use your phone to play an online game. You're going to lose. Anyway, beginning in 2028, the new PlayStation games will only be available digitally through the PlayStation Store and digital retailers, which then makes you wonder, are they going to do the same thing they did with the movies? I paid $80 for this game, and then you can willy-nilly take it away from me. These are the concerns I have. Why would I buy a $29 movie from Sony to have them a year later say, well, our license ran out, and so we're taking it away from your library? I paid money. That's mine. No, not if you don't have the physical disc, and this is why I'm still very pro physical media. Sony said the move reflects consumer preferences, not all consumers, shifting toward digital media over physical discs. Yeah, you wait until they start taking your stuff away that you paid $80 for, or there's no internet. Then you're just going to lose your minds. The company said that it will better align with how most players enjoy and access games today. They're trying to get you on subscription through the PlayStation, subscription models. And then you don't own anything. And, I don't know. I do know how I feel. PlayStation's success established optical disc as the standard format for console games for many years. Xbox has also adopted a disc-based gaming system, and Nintendo largely still uses cartridges. Sony's move suggests that digital-only game distribution is becoming the long-term direction for the video game industry, partly because it costs a lot less. You don't have to worry about packaging. You don't have to worry about duplication. You don't have to print the sleeves. You don't have to have somebody insert the disc into a plastic box, put the sleeve on it, shrink wrap it, put it in a crate, then put it on a boat or a plane, and have it go to the distribution place after it goes through customs, and then it goes to a warehouse, which then is distributed to another warehouse, which finally makes it to a product shelf near you. No. They just show you a menu and they say, do you want to buy it? And the cost of all of that, with all the fewer middlemen, saves them a lot of money or makes their margin higher. All right. Former Rockstar Games co-founder and GTA writer Dan Houser said game companies should continue offering physical discs if the players want them. So Dan and I, we seem like we're doing great. We should be buddies. Houser said he personally does not mind digital-only games, but believes that companies should respond to customer demand. Well, Sony said customer demand is digital only, and Dan is saying that it's split, basically. He thinks that people want physical games. I'm in the physical game pile. I am very happy that Dan is an industry leader who is speaking out on behalf of people like me. He also said that digital distribution makes it easier to upgrade games. Oh, I absolutely believe that. I'm a big, you probably know this, big Disney Infinity person. I have 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0 discs. And I can put them in my PlayStation, but there's a patch. So I'm actually running 3.12 on my PlayStation because it downloaded a digital patch. So I'm all in favor of that. But I can still, if everything crashes and there's no internet, I can plug in my disc and I can still play with my little characters. So see, Darth Vader for our visual watchers. Houser and Jones, who's Jones? Former Rockstar writer Laszlo Jones said he is nostalgic for physical game disc, but he appreciates the convenience of downloading a game. Sure, I get you. Hauser and Jones said they still value physical media, citing their printed comic book, American Caper, for example. Oh, yeah. I do not read comic books digitally, even though I keep getting free Marvel ones all the time. There's something about the paper and the smell, and I don't know, maybe that's nostalgic. All the kids today, they got the tablets and all that stuff, making myself seem older. Very quickly, rumors suggest that Microsoft may soon be testing a new feature called Positron. What it'll allow you to do is scan your digital discs. It'll create a digital license, which you can then transfer to other people. Meaning, once you transfer it off your machine, the game won't work anymore. This kind of seems like that thing that Nintendo was doing for a while. They say it'll be compatible with the Xbox One and the Xbox Series X. No time frame really has been given on when this might be available, but apparently they're testing it. This is Online Tonight. Stay tuned.
Online Tonight. Geek Speak. Geek Speak.
All right, this hour's Geek Speak, where we take a tech term and turn it into plain English. Right before your very ears is Base Station. Base Station. Has nothing to do with outer space or satellites. We'll get back to that in just a moment. This Geek Speak is brought to you by Govee. Let's talk a little bit about their LumaBlend Plus color system. This color management system features a new 16-bit precision chip for smoother, more precise color transitions. And it has the industry-leading 1000K to 10,000K color temperature range. Govee also has a new partnership with Samsung SmartThings. You can learn about everything Govee has to offer by visiting our website, onlinetonight.com/Govee. Onlinetonight.com/Govee. All right, base station. A base station is a fixed wireless device that serves as a hub for other wireless devices and provides a bridge to another network. Every wireless device first connects to the base station, which allows them to communicate with other devices on that network. A base station also provides a bridge connection to another network, like an Ethernet, usually a wired LAN, so that they can serve as both a router and to get to these wireless items and to the wired network. Mesh Wi-Fi networks use a central base station that wirelessly communicates with the smaller satellite access points to deliver wireless networking over a larger area. Maybe we'll do mesh sometime because they actually talk to each other without wires necessarily and get all this stuff back to the base station. Most home networking equipment instead uses access point to refer to these wireless bridges and Wi-Fi router to refer to access points with routing features. So the term has kind of been massaged a little bit. The term Wi-Fi base station is now generally used to refer to these larger scale enterprise level wireless networking infrastructures that are designed to cover lots of workplaces and public spaces. Very quickly, let's say that you're an enterprise and you have that internal network and that publicly accessible network, maybe a walled off garden or something like that. You've got all these access points. Some may or may not be mesh. They all come back into the base station, and then it figures out if it's, enterprise traffic, public traffic, walled garden traffic. So there you are. That is this hour's Geek Speak base station.
Online Tonight.
All right, phone lines are open. Call our Broadcast Bionics Caller 1 system using our toll-free telephone number, 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546. Don't forget, you can follow me on X and Instagram. I use the same account name on both platforms. Max Smart Radio, all one word, at Max Smart Radio, all one word. Miss Victoria.
Yes, we have a text from Susie in Seattle. She says, I love to hike in the mountains, and a friend of mine mentioned she feels better knowing she has satellite service on her phone when hiking in remote areas. How can I tell if I have this on my phone, and how does it work? I have an iPhone on T-Mobile.
I would feel better as well if I was a friend of your friend, because hikers, especially out there in the mountains, mountain lions, bears, bobcats, bugs, snakes,
falling down,
falling off of a cliff. There's a lot of things. If you fall off a cliff, however, getting satellite service could be a little tricky, because I had to do it recently, and you have to like move your phone around. It'll say, please wait until the satellite is overhead. And then you have to kind of point it at the satellite. If your arm is broken, or maybe you're stuck. Wasn't there like a person not too long ago that was like stuck in a crevice? And
they ate their arm off
and couldn't get out. Why did you have to get so graphic? I'm just asking you if there was somebody who was stuck in a crevice. Yes. Whether they ate the parts of their body off to get away was not where I was headed with that. Okay, back to Susie's question. Many modern smartphones allow you to connect to these satellites, even if you are in an area that has no cell service. T-Mobile, you've probably seen the ads. Now, these have limited features. Usually you can just send emergency texts. Sometimes, especially nowadays as the satellite networks are growing and evolving and being upgraded, you can send regular texts. It will help you find a location through the Find My app. So if you haven't seen them moving around for a while, maybe you look to see, you might be able to send them a text. There are certain applications that may or may not work over it takes a long time to go up to the satellite and back down. It's called latency. So it's not always good for real-time communications like dialing 911, but it's better to get a message out versus another message out. There's also a couple helpful tips here I'll give you in just a second. Very quickly, Apple introduced the emergency SOS in the iPhone 14, I think in 2021 or 2022. Yeah. All the supported iPhones now have emergency and regular messages, that Find My feature, and you can type certain things, which makes me wonder where it goes, because then somebody has to route this based on your location, right? But you can type in roadside, you can type in help, and you can type in flat tire, just those quick messages. And then apparently somebody's going to get back to you or drive by your location or send a helicopter. I don't know. It just depends. Satellite messaging does require a compatible device, that you're not stuck in a cave underwater, because you're not going to be able to see the satellite, which means you won't have a satellite icon on your phone. You have to be able to see the sky, a clear view of the sky. This is a big requirement. And you need to be patient, in that it is not like super fast like we're used to on the normal T-Mobile network. It's going to take a while. And sometimes it makes you point your device in a specific direction. Well, you might even have to turn all the way around and then raise it over your head or tuck it under your knee. There's a lot of things going on. If you want to play with it, apparently there's a demo. You go to Settings, Emergency SOS, and then Try Demo, and you can send something out that way. If you have a Samsung Galaxy, the satellite depends on what model of phone you have and who your carrier is. You can go under Settings and Connections, Satellite Networks, to see if that's there. The Pixel 9 and newer models, they all have satellite SOS. T-Mobile offers T-Satellite with Starlink on some plans. It lets you do text messaging, data access for things like Google Maps or AllTrails. That might be beneficial to your friend who likes to hike out in the mountains. T-Mobile customers and on other carriers can add that T-Satellite plan for $10 a month. Again, your phone has to be compatible with it. And T-Mobile is the first or offers free, I don't know if they were the first to do it, but text to 911 is available on select phones on the T-Mobile network. So hopefully that answered your question, Susie. If you're not listening live and you want to send a message in like Susie did, the text voicemail number is 951-395-1017. And the email address is show@onlinetonight.com. Recently, we did experience this satellite thing. We were curious where a family member was. They were hiking in the middle of like Mount Shasta or something, and we did not get any kind of update of any kind for 4 hours. Stay tuned.
We're on the air live tonight. 1-800-39-ONLINE. 1-800-396-6546 is the number.
Online tonight.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you guys could find a way to shut the hell up!
Please, to save everyone's sanity, refer to Max as, well, Max. Thank you. This is Online Tonight. Now, here's Max.
Push the button. Good advice, Miss Victoria. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. My name is Max. The name of the show is Online Tonight. Use our Broadcast Bionics Caller One system using our toll-free telephone number to get that free tech support. Always happy to help you. And the phone number is the best way to get in because I always have questions. 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546. But if you are listening to the archive on the website, onlinetonight.com, episode number 2160, or you're subscribed to the podcast or you're watching one of the reruns of the visual show, you can still join in and get your question submitted. Show@onlinetonight.com is the email address, and the text voicemail number 951-395-1017. Before I jump into some more video game news, I just wanted to mention that I have teamed up with Swag to the Max to introduce my new line of pirate t-shirts and other swag. See what I did there? You can find them by going to onlinetonight.com/store. I believe the shirts are right at the top. The pirate shirts that are there. Got some more stuff coming soon. Onlinetonight.com/store. Atari. I feel like we should have talked about Atari last hour when we talked about the Mario movie, Galaxy movie. What is the name of that movie? Hold on. I'm going to get it. I will get it by myself.
Are you sure you don't need help?
The Super Mario Galaxy movie, rated PG on Peacock. I got it. But thank you. I probably need help as to why. No, I guess it makes sense. Atari, could you imagine? What was the first Atari game that you played, Miss Victoria?
Have I ever played an Atari game?
Did you ever go to an arcade?
Yes, but I did.
Do you remember that little triangle and you shoot the little dots?
Wait, we had Pong.
Oh, there you go.
But I don't think it was real Pong.
It was Atari. It was real Pong.
It may not have been.
How could it have been fake?
I don't know. We lived in Japan at the time.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a whole nother problem. Atari has signed a deal with Universal Pictures and Entertainment 360 to develop movies because of the success of things like Super Mario and Roadblocks and on and on. They've signed a deal for 10 classic Atari game properties. Universal has the rights.
I think the one you were thinking about was Minecraft, the other movie that they made.
Yeah. Did they not make a Roblox movie yet? They're in the process.
Okay.
It's all the same. There have been other video game type movies, right? Like Mortal Kombat, and yeah, there's plenty out there. Anyway, Universal has the right to bring these IPs to the big screen. The first film, was already purchased by Universal. The first movie will be produced by Entertainment 360. It already has its writers. It's already got its producers. But
Notice
here
they don't say which IP it is.
Exactly. This is the one that I don't understand. What I was trying to get you to say was that your first Atari game in an arcade was Asteroids, which was white dots on a dark screen that represented a triangle, which was your spaceship, and then these little blobs that came at you, and you would pew, pew, pew. You would fire at it.
Yeah.
To make
These
them
are
go
not going to
away.
be 8-bit movies.
You don't know that, but how are you going to turn Asteroids, which was
How are you going to turn Pong into a movie?
I don't know. Let's go through the 10. Asteroids, I guess this is in alphabetical order because I hope, for goodness sake, this is not release order. Otherwise, I'm out.
No, these are alphabetical.
All right. So Asteroids Adventure, that was a pretty good game.
Yeah.
Berserk Breakout. Breakout is the one where you throw a square at a brick and the brick breaks and then eventually you make a path and then you can bounce around at the top. That's fun. I played a lot of Breakout. Centipede. That was one of the first games that had the ball along with Mission Command. We'll see if those are in the M's. We'll find out. Centipede. Crystal Castles. I don't remember that game at all. Millipede, definitely played that game. There's Missile Command. Pong and Yar's Revenge. Atari says the goal is to turn these classic games into large-scale action-adventure films.
So I think they're just going to use the games as a jumping off point because some of these games would be very boring movies.
I agree with you. I actually think this is an opportunity for them to modernize some of these games. Could you imagine with the high-def graphics that we have now, what the cockpit of your spaceship could look like as you were driving around and shooting the asteroids? I feel like I did this in Disney Infinity in the Star Wars portion of the game where you go around and you shoot stuff from inside your spaceship. They could make that really cool. And Millipede, you remember Pixel, the movie with Adam Sandler?
Yes.
Okay. So I feel like Millipede might have been represented in there because some giant monster pops up and then you have to use the cannon thing to blow it up and then it breaks into other little pieces and then you have to blow those up. I feel like they could come out with the movie and then they could come out with like really high-end, well-shaded, high poly count games that match the movie instead. I mean, I'm still nostalgic. I still want to play the original Asteroids. I still want to play the original Millipede. I guess people would say this is where I contradict myself when it comes to classic Disney movies and they turn around and make it live action and I hate them. But I would be interested in playing Asteroids in a more high def world now. That would be cool. I have it on my console, so I can always go back and play it. I also have it on my phone because I got that Atari Classic bundle many, many years ago. I still have that. Anyway, the CEO, Wade Rosen, over there, wants to bring the spirit of the iconic games to a new medium. Partnership was inspired by the original screenplay that was written by that unnamed movie that nobody's talking about yet. The filmmaker said that they wanted to capture the imagination-driven experience of classic Atari games rather than, just recreate the gameplay. Entertainment 360 believes the first project can become an original adventure around Atari's legacy. I think that might be a clue. Adventure might be the first game.
They're being impossibly vague.
I think they hide the truth in these things sometimes. Atari's classic games have remained part of the pop culture for almost 50 years. 50 years. More video game news. I was excited to hear this one because I don't play a lot of sports type games. I have played a couple, but I do like the baseball games and I do like the football games. And when I heard that in 2 days or 4 days, what day is it today? 2nd. So 4 days, is that Thursday? The 6th? Whatever day the 6th is, Madden NFL 27 will come to Apple Arcade. Okay. I am going to try not to play this because I will probably start playing it on my television, on my Apple TV, on my gigantic TV at home. And then while I'm waiting for Miss Victoria to pop into the grocery store or the hardware store, or here, come pick paint with me. Oh, I got to take this call. As I'm playing Madden NFL 27 on my iPhone. Oh, I gave it away. Forget you heard that. The game will be available exclusively on Apple devices through Apple Arcade. I don't think that's a mystery. Meaning, it's exclusive, meaning we're not going to see it on the other platforms for a while. The Madden franchise has sold over 150 million copies since it launched in 1988. Madden NFL 27 joins Apple Arcade sports line. They got a bunch of other stuff. They've got the NFL Retro Bowl. They've got the Retro College Bowl. They got the football managers, the mini football legends, the NBA, 2K26, the PGA Tour Pro Golf, and Skate City, New York. So a lot of sports, if you consider skateboarding sports. I do like the skateboard games. Those are fun. Players can control NFL teams and players, take on general manager roles, and build and manage the franchise. Madden NFL 27 Arcade Edition supports play on all of these systems: the iPhone, the iPad, the Mac, and as I mentioned, the Apple TV. EA says Apple Arcade is a good fit because players can access the games across Apple's devices with a controller experience. So that will be a lot of fun, and it could cause me a lot of problems. Are you big into the Apple Arcade ecosystem? What are your favorite type of games? Are you going to grab this NFL Madden 27? Be interested in hearing from you. The toll-free telephone number, 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546. It's online tonight. Stay tuned.
Online tonight.
Hey, bookmark this.
All right, bookmark this, where we give you a website that we hope you find fun, educational, or entertaining. I probably have not told you this story before, but I got to be in the back of one of those really long fire trucks that has that ladder. And you know, there's a steering wheel compartment in the back, so there's a person steering. And well, that's why it's called a steering wheel compartment. There's a steering wheel back there to move the back wheels so that these big, long vehicles can make these crazy turns in industrial and neighborhood things. How did I do that? Did you know that you could do that? Well, if you go to natw.org, natw.org, you might want to go to one of their National Night Outs, or NNOs. It is an annual community building campaign that promotes police, community partnerships, and neighborhood camaraderie. Millions of neighbors take part in National Night Out across thousands of communities in all 50 states and U.S. territories, military bases worldwide. It usually happens on the first Tuesday in August. Now, Texas and other areas, for whatever reason, do this the first Tuesday in October. But I've only done it in August. Neighbors host events with safety demonstrations, visits from emergency personnel. That's how I got to check out emergency vehicles are on display at these things and more. That's how I got to pop into there and look at I didn't get to drive it. It was stationary, but I got to go in there and look at the intercom system, and it was really neat. I mean, it's like a giant Tonka truck, and you get to go in there and play with it. That's pretty fun. The National Association of Town Watch, hence the acronym, is the organization behind the NNO. So head over to natw.org, natw.org. That is this hour's Bookmark This, brought to you by Paramount Plus. August brings season 3 of original series Lioness, starring Zoe and Nicole Kidman. New episodes drop every Sunday, starting today. You can find out all that Paramount Plus has to offer by visiting our website, onlinetonight.com/stream, onlinetonight.com/stream.
Online tonight.
All right, entertainment news. The big news, obviously, for the weekend is the big box office coming from the Spider-Man Brand New Day franchise. However, millions of people apparently did not have to go to the theater to watch it. A high-quality bootleg of Spider-Man Brand New Day was leaked online Wednesday or Thursday or maybe Tuesday before the official Friday release. The leaked video was posted on X, and it reached millions of viewers before it was finally taken down. Apparently, based on X statistics, almost 6 million accounts, 143,000 likes, and 10,000 reposts The original post was taken down after just a few hours, so that just shows you how fast this stuff can spread. Other X accounts out there shared copies, but those were also quickly removed. Studios typically issue copyright takedown notices for unauthorized uploads, though large-scale leaks can be tricky to, wrangle. Despite the leak, Spider-Man Brand New Day is performing very, very, very well at the box office. It earned over $72 million in preview screenings, setting a record for preview revenue. The preview record for Endgame, I think, was $60 million. So this blew that away by $12 million. Sunday estimates are putting the weekend at over or around $350 million. If that's the case, they will not beat Endgame, because I think Endgame was 360, 362, 365, something like that.
357.
357. Oh, well, they only need 2 million more. All right. My prediction is, of course, that Spider-Man's going to beat. I'll even put numbers on it. I say they're going to gain that 2 million and pass them by 2 million. So that puts them at 259. That's my guess.
359.
359. Oh, yeah, 259 would be bad. 359. So I'm going to say they beat them in preview. They're going to beat them over the weekend. I don't think that's too much to ask, because we have all of today to go through. Or everybody that I knew had already seen it or was going earlier today. So I'm sure the numbers will be fine. Endgame, by the way, was the first movie to surpass 300 million for the largest opening weekend ever. You'll find the final results probably tomorrow, Monday. And I think, as I mentioned, they'll probably, not that I have spidey senses or anything. I feel like I do in this case. I don't think they're going to have too much trouble. I don't think it's going to be like $100 million more, but I think they'll beat Endgame. All right. Are you a dart player? Being of British descent, I know plenty of relatives, cousins, uncles, aunts even, that have been in a pub and played the dart game. There may be a new opportunity for them. Netflix is searching for amateur dart players to compete against world champion Luke. I'm going to say Littler. Littler. Oh, because there's no GH in it. Littler. All right, Luke Littler. I wasn't sure how to say his name. The event will be streamed live in October of this year on the Netflix. Successful applicants will play against Lighter, the youngest world...
Littler.
I'm going to say Lighter every day until you correct me forever. It's Littler. He's not a little person. That's like... Okay. You always have Tiny, and it happens to be the 7-foot player on the team. Littler. I'll say it a few more times so I can remember. He's the youngest world darts champion in history. I don't know how old he is. The competition will be offering prizes around $600,000. Applicants can sign up through beatlukelittler.com. You must be at least 12 years old. If you are under 18, you will have to have a parent or a guardian present, and of course, their ability to sign away all your rights to the video. You must legally live in or be able to go at your own expense to the UK. Applicants are asked questions such as why they believe they can beat Luke Littler and what their darts nickname would be. Do you think Littler is a nickname? Could be. I don't know. What I do know is that each and every episode is on our website, onlinetonight.com. Look for episode number 2116, where you can see the show notes for each and every hour. So hour 1, and this is hour 2. We have the bookmark this. We have the Geek Speak. You can listen to the audio archive. You can subscribe to the podcast. There's even links there to watch the visual version.
Online Tonight is produced and copyrighted by Smart Family Media. All rights reserved. Host Maxwell Smart. Producer and other hats worn by Victoria Smart. Views and opinions expressed are those of the host. guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, affiliates, or other advertisers.